Let me ask you one simple question. If I give you 10 crore rupees today and I ask you to start a small company of your choice, whatever you want to do, maybe launch a beauty product or maybe launch a very complex financial management service. If I give you 10 crore rupees today and I ask you to start that dream company of yours and you start it, and now you realize that you need team members, you need to hire more people, you need employees, will you hire yourself? Will you invest a part of those 10 crore rupees as salary for yourself? Will you hire somebody like you who has the same amount of skills or does not have the skills, who has the same college degree or maybe does not have a college degree, who has the same marks, same extracurricular activities, same communication skills, or maybe not? Will you invest that money into that person? I recently asked this question at a university where the audience had BBA, MBA, and engineering students. And you know what happened in that auditorium of 250 odd students and some teachers? Not even one student raised their hand. Not even one student raised their hand. That no, I don't think. What does that tell me? That tells me that none of them thought that they were employable or they were investable. They were somebody where somebody could invest money in. I don't know if investable is the right word or if it is a word or not. If you do not have the confidence to invest money in yourself, how do you expect somebody else to invest money in you? That is the first question. And that is the market, that is the economy, that is the situation that we are living in today. Because companies today have fewer jobs, obviously. I'll explain why they have fewer jobs. But the jobs that they have now, because they have the jobs, they want the best candidates for it. And how do they choose the best candidates? They choose the best candidates based on what you can offer, what kind of experience you have developed over the years, and how willing you are to do big things, take risks, solve bigger problems. In 1991, India faced its biggest economic crisis. We didn't have enough money to, import essential goods. So what India had to do was India had to keep some of the gold reserve that the country has um, as a security to get some loans from organizations like the IMF. Now, and the IMF also had some, conditions attached to the loan. They said you will have to open up your markets. You cannot be conservative. You cannot keep having an economy which is shut. You cannot keep having an economy which is full of licenses and all these things, multiple things. So it started a lot of reforms, and Dr. Manmohan Singh, he started those reforms. He spearheaded those reforms under the leadership of our last prime minister, ex-prime minister PV Narasimha Rao ji. It became impossible to function as a country otherwise. Now, suddenly you have a country where there were hardly, any companies apart from a few big players in few, small markets and small cities. And suddenly there was opportunity for everyone to jump in. Entertainment, FMCG, automobile sector, manufacturing, internet services, and so on. You name it, clothes, textiles, retail, you name the sector, and everywhere we needed more people, more companies. And that's what happened. Suddenly, almost all of a sudden, people started companies in every sector possible. And that is what contributed to us becoming such a large, diverse economy. And today we are the fifth largest economy, moving towards becoming the largest economy in the next 2, 3 years. It all started there. Now there was one problem. Everyone started a company, they somehow managed money, they somehow found credit and capital to invest. What they did not have was people. Even though we were the second, I think even then we were the second most populous country in the world, we didn't have the right workforce. So what did large companies started do? Especially IT companies. Well, they started hiring people left, right, center from anywhere they could grab. There used to be memes and there used to be cartoons of, companies like TCS and Infosys and Satyam and L&T in, tech, and Accenture, Cognizant, CTC, CSC, you name it. All these companies used to be called mass recruiters. And the memes used to be they would bring in huge trucks and they will pick students from engineering colleges or even science colleges where BSc degrees and BCA degrees were awarded. They just pick them and take them to their corporate headquarters or training headquarters, and they would train these people for 3 to 5 months, give them the right set of skills in programming or otherwise, and then just absorb them, because that is the amount of work that they had, and that is the amount of people, the number of people that they wanted, that they were so desperate they were willing to pick up anybody having a degree and then risk making sure that they are qualified enough. And most of the times, a lot of those students who they picked up were not even good enough, but even then the companies invested in them. They tried to educate them, they tried to train them, and a lot of them became very successful also. That is when in the late 90s and early 2000s there was a spurt of growth of engineering and MBA colleges across the country, and especially states like Tamil Nadu and Karnataka and Andhra. They had so many colleges that and it didn't matter whether college was good, bad, new, old, whether it had the right faculty or not. People were just getting absorbed like anything because the need was huge. Then it was also a problem for them, absorbing so many people, training them. It was a huge cost to the company. They realized this has to stop, this has to change. That is why the unemployable graduates in India still exist at the same number, because the colleges never really invested enough in them. The students were never really ready to study enough to become employable. The problem still exists. The companies, however, they became smarter. More and more automation started happening. More and more AI is now being incorporated, which means what? Less jobs. I've written articles about it. We'll put the links in the description also. Less jobs for people who are not employable, but jobs still exist for people who are employable. My question to you is, are you employable? If you think joining a good university, whatever you consider good is, after maybe entrance examinations or detailed applications or whatever, if you think joining a good university guarantees you a job in today's market, you are absolutely mistaken. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And now even the universities have started openly saying, telling you that placements are going to be difficult. They are not promising you placements at all. Because gone are those days when companies would hire you at a risk, train you at a risk, that after training 3 to 5 months, you might even want to leave the company. They've stopped doing that now. So you need to prove to them that you're good enough. And how will you prove that you're good enough? By gaining skills, by learning how to actually program before going to, a company. I'll be very honest with you. I learned a little bit of programming in college, and I just learned enough which allowed me to get placed. I knew after learning this much of C++, I will be able to solve some technical questions and then I will get placed. The rest I will learn at the company. That is exactly what I did. That doesn't happen anymore. So you have to prove to them that you're good enough in any field, whatever you're studying. If you're studying management, well, show them that you are actually a hustler. You are actually somebody who can take things and make them successful. You can get things done. Start an entrepreneurial venture, incubate something, raise money, earn money, prove to them. But if you do not do it, if you just sit in college, overthinking, chilling, enjoying, all those things are important, by the way. But overthinking, not taking risks, not taking action, waiting for somebody else to come and solve problems for you, that is not going to happen. And that is not going to help you either. So stop taking granted. Stop taking placements for granted. Stop assuming that things are will be served to you on a platter. Unfortunately, that used to happen. It's not going to happen anymore. And in the future, things might change even more drastically. But one thing doesn't change: develop yourself. There is need for you in the market. I mean, just imagine India is a land of paradoxes. When you go to colleges, there are no jobs available for those students, primarily because they are not employable. They don't offer anything good. But those students' demands are, I want this kind of package, I want this much money. When you talk to industrialists, when you talk to small and medium enterprises, SMEs, most of them startups, they are the biggest employers, by the way. They say that we don't find good people. They say we don't find good young people who are willing to work hard, who are willing to learn, who are willing to learn the ropes before they actually start demanding more and more facilities. Do you see the difference between the two? And then don't even let me get started on, when PhD holders are applying for jobs of janitors and PMs in government offices, still thinking that a job is my birthright and a government job is the golden ticket to security in the world. We do not live in a perfect world. India is not perfect, our economy is not perfect, but there is a way to survive here. A lot of people have survived here, are surviving, they will continue to do so. We are Indians. We have been successful as a civilization for thousands of years. Don't let a small blip in the socio political economic structure of our country dissuade you, discourage you. You have it in you. All you need is regular, committed hard work. Develop yourself. And if you do not know how, well, do contact us. Let's figure it out together. Cheers.